welcome back to Midfield Pivot. It's your boy B Holi, coming to you with the weekend takeaway. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Yeah, so guys, the first takeaway there. A lot of derby games are held this weekend. We'll speak about the one in Manchester for now. First, the Manchester derby there, Man United versus Man City, ended as a 2-0 victory for Man City. Takeaway from this is that City iyekile Man United. It felt sorry for them. In other words, that's what I think. I think City felt sorry for Man United and decided, you know what, let's just not kill these people. Um, Man U come off the last home game they played in the league, come off a win against Spurs, where they got after the game the Spurs coach got fired. Um, it was a game really where Spurs did the Spurs thing. They were nowhere really, and you could see that I know Spurs aren't that good and needs to make a change. This was after Man United had been just walloped, thrashed, beaten, killed by Liverpool 5-0 at home. Um, and in a surprising turn of events, the coach Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not fired. It was said that he'll be given 3 games to show improvement. One of those games was of course Spurs, which he won. The next was Champions League game against Atalanta, which he drew luckily. And the third of those games was the game now before international break, which was the Manchester Derby. Looking at the scoreline, it's easy to think that you know what, it's not as bad a loss as the loss to Liverpool, because Liverpool did put 5 past De Gea, and City only put 2 past De Gea. And if you look at the way the 2 goals were scored, the first goal was an own goal by Eric Bailly in the 6 minutes of the game, and the last was a goal in the first half where Maguire and Shaw again were just ball watching and let Bernardo Silva get past them in the far post, and again luckily bounced the ball off De Gea into the goals. So the 2 City goals are not like goals where you could say City broke Man United down and then scored. It was mostly just Man United's own terrible defense and their propensity to commit mistakes. So that being said, again, that's why you look at this scoreline and think, you know what, it wasn't as bad as a Liverpool loss, and maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is heading in the right direction. You would be wrong. You'd be terribly wrong. This loss was worse than Liverpool's loss in terms of actual team and how their team played. Man United were nowhere near City. They didn't get close to them. Um, there are so many stats could rattle off. The City had 65% possession. They made 753 passes, a record, mind you. 753 passes in the game compared to United's 209. United only had 1 shot on target, guys. Not the whole game, 1 shot. They only had 1 corner. The corner they got like in the 80 something minutes. Um, the way that City kept that ball in the second half, it was men against boys. I mean, there was no hustle, there was no struggle by them. They just kept passing the ball around the entire second half. Um, and another real big indictment of just how below City United are. City didn't make a single substitution, guys. Pep didn't take any of those 11 players off. Those players played a full 90 minutes, or 11 of them. How do you play a derby and afford to not make a single substitution? It's criminal. It just shows just how easy it was, how easy it was for Man City. They really were struggling to play against this team. Um, it's shocking that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the job. It just shows that the real problem with Man United is not even Ole. Ole is a big part of the problem. Don't get me wrong. But the biggest problem in United is the owners, the board, the people who make decisions. How do you keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after he loses 5-0 to Liverpool? How do you keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after he can't beat Atalanta? How do you then keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after he puts out a 9-1 formation against Man City and still loses? He has no control over the game. It was I mean, guys, just look at this here. This is the average shape of Man United against City. What the hell shape is this? It was a shocking display by this United team. They deserve to lose. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer deserves to get fired. Um, hopefully, as of this recording, he's not fired yet. I'm doing this recording on a Tuesday afternoon. He's still in a job. Maybe we'll wake up on Wednesday to news that he's been fired. Because if Man U have any hope of making top four, I'm not even talking winning top four, the man has to go. Right now, they are sitting below West Ham, below Arsenal. Arsenal had a terrible start to the season, are now sitting above Man United. What part of the game is this? How Sway? And it's really amazing how he's still in the job. Norwich, Aston Villa have fired their coaches who have and this is what shocks you guys. Very similar records in terms of the last 5 games for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they fired their coaches. Are you telling me that teams like Norwich and Aston Villa have more ambition than the board of Man United? And the answer is yes, they do. They are better run teams. They have better ambition. And until United changes these players, changes this board, they really aren't going to stand a chance in this league. I don't see them doing anything. So suffice to say, that derby was just men against boys, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really has to go. Moving on to the next derby game we had this weekend, we had the Soweto derby, Kaiser Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates. Um, yo, the quality of the PSL is poor. Let's not go back and forth. Let's not argue about that. It's a fact. Um, this game wasn't bad. Um, I feel like the better team lost. Ugh, I know. I feel like Pirates were a better team. Just were unlucky. Again, not really lucky. Lacking quality to take the chances. Um, Chiefs got a penalty after the score was 1-1 after surprise it equalized. Um, some would say it's not a penalty. Some would say it is a penalty. I mean, personally, I don't really see anything wrong with it being a penalty. I also wouldn't have minded it not being a penalty. It doesn't really mean anything really. It really was a risk decision, and you know how I feel about the officiating in the PSL. So the less said about that, the better. But yeah, the better team didn't win. Paris were the better team. Chiefs just took their chances. Paris lack quality up front. They can't take the chances. Tyson Tlachayo is really on the same level as Harry Maguire in terms of defending right now. They both are captains in their teams, and they both are the worst players in their teams right now, and that's saying something. So yeah, maybe going forward, coaches need to be more careful about which defenders they give the captaincy to, because when a guy is off form like that, you can't drop him because he's your captain. It really is not good for the team. I think like Kachara needs to be dropped. Um, I feel like Pirates need to find a way to create more chances and score more goals because yeah, that's key. Chiefs on the other hand, Chiefs are a boring team, no creativity at all. Dolly's the only bright spark in their team. Dolly and Billiard essentially. Stuart Baxter, well, don't really rate that guy as a coach, but Logos keeps getting the results. That's all that matters really. But yeah, Soto Derby, dull game. Undeserved winner, controversial penalty. What more can I say? Right, then anyone else would be maybe the shock result of the week. Not a shock to most, shock to me. West Ham beat Liverpool 3-2 on Sunday. What a game! Exciting end-to-end game. Um, Nothing really much that Moyes did wrong here. Picked the right team, had to set the team up very well today to try and deal with Liverpool. And economically, they dealt with Liverpool very easily. Liverpool didn't have as many chances as normally have, and their defense was also on the back foot most of the game. That's probably down to West Ham's size. West Ham will have a lot of size, guys. I mean, Ogbonna, Zuma, Suchek, Rice, Antonio, a lot of size in their team, and that size is what really gave Liverpool a hard time. But he said pieces. Ellison just never got comfortable. He was never comfortable during the corners, having to get the West Ham player that was right in front of him out of the way, and it showed in that the goals are scored from set pieces, except for the breakaway. The second goal was a breakaway. It was finished by the man Fornals. It's Olanzini, I'm not quite remember, but anyway, the West Ham set up great tactically, took advantage of Liverpool's lack of size with their size. Well deserved victory. It's nice to see such results coming up in teams, because you don't really expect such results. And West Ham are now third. Doesn't mean that West Ham are contenders for the league. I would still say no. They don't really. They have the good players, but they don't have the quality players. Um, as a team, are they a better team than Liverpool? No, no. Just on their day though, they're real hard, they're real trouble. But in the long run, they won't finish higher than third. I'll be surprised if they're in the top four even by the end of the season. But yeah, it's very good to see them play the way they play against Liverpool, and we wish them well. Well, a new era at Barcelona is set to begin with the return of that midfield maestro, Xavi. Xavi Hernandez has been announced as the coach of Barcelona. Couldn't come at a greater time. The team is really struggling. The team is really struggling, having a really hard time. They're keeping pace with the rest of the contenders in La Liga. Um, this weekend, for some weird reason, wow, Barcelona is such a weird team right now. They were leading 3-0 within 24 minutes. Within 24 minutes against Celta Vigo, they were leading 3-0. No worries whatsoever. Everything was going fine. And then they just happened to just capitulate. They just sort of stopped playing. It's hard to explain really. They just stopped playing and let Celta come back from 3-0 to draw with them 3-3. And it could have been more. Salta Vigo had two clear chances that they didn't take because of Ter Stegen's brilliance. It would have been a mess. It would have been a 5-3 result. And, you know, it can't be soon enough for Shafi. He needs to start like right now. It's a good thing that we're now on international break and he can actually maybe implement some ideas in these 2 weeks. And maybe we'll see it. Hopefully, not maybe. Hopefully, we'll see a different Barca team by the time they come back from the international break. Because right now, Barca are really they're going through a hard period. They're going through a very hard period. But sacking Kuman was a good move. It's nice to see teams actually made the decision to get rid of a coach that's not working. He's looking at shoelaces. It just shows an ambition there on the part of that team to make changes to try and rectify the ship and get them going in the right direction. So yeah, the Chef Hernandez era begins in the new camp, and yeah, let's hope for the best. Yeah, okay. The last takeaway for today: Sundowns, guys. Sundowns is Lala Yodwa. Sundowns, there's no competition in this PSL. They are competing with absolutely no one. No one's close to them. No one can stop them. Unless something drastic happens, I don't see any team stopping Sundowns from taking this league. They might as well give the trophy to Sundowns already. I know it's controversial, but they might as well give the Premier League, the Premiership trophy to Sundowns already because it's done. It's done. They have the best players. They play the best system. Um, there's a question regarding whether are they the best team because they buy the best players from teams that compete with them, or are they the best team because of just superior coaching? Um, I think that Sundowns are a very well-run team and it shows on the pitch. If your team is well run and your owners, ambitious and your owners know why they're in the sport for, they know that they're here to win trophies and they do everything in their power to ensure that the team wins trophies. It's evident in how the team plays. And that's what I'm seeing regarding Sundowns. It's not only that they do, but yes, they do buy the best players, but that's not the only reason. That's not the only reason why they are the way they are. So yeah, it's essentially what I'm trying to say is that Sundowns is no competition and give them the trophy already. Right, guys. Now in the third part of the weekend, in our team of the weekend, um, let's have a look at the team. In goals, I have that old man, the oldest man to ever save a penalty in the Premier League. He saved a penalty against Arsenal over the weekend. Ben Foster, long career, not many accolades, but he's been a good servant for the teams he's played for. And like I said, he's now got the record as being the oldest player to ever save a penalty in the Premier League. So yeah, Ben Foster is in goals for us from Watford. Up in defense. Well, there were a lot of good performances for us to pick from this week. We had Blom, is it Blom? Blom from Kaiser Chiefs. They played really well in the derby against Pirates, as I mentioned. Um, we had Upamecano again doing wonders there for Bayern Munich. We had Ogbonna there, who played really well there in their victory, in West Ham's victory over Liverpool before he got the injury. But in the end, I went for these three. I went for Cancelo, who got two assists against they said about Manchester United better, but got two assists in the game. One of them was an own goal, but it cut it as an assist. The next Trent, obviously, fantastic free kick there. What a free kick! What a goal! And an assist as well. And then Kurt Zuma. Um, I really feel like West Ham deserve a lot of credit for how they played against Liverpool, and yeah, well, Zuma was a big part of that. The way that he marshaled the defense after Dawson went off, how he took charge at his young age, and how he scored that goal there from a corner kick, really impressed me. And so yeah, Kurt Zuma gets a position in our team of the week. In midfield, there going into midfield. Well, there's another West Ham player there. Some more West Ham players. Some more West Ham players getting their flowers while they still can still smell them. Declan Rice, guys, whew, what a performance in midfield. Reminds me, and I know people might argue with me about this, but Declan Rice gave me lots of Yaya Toure vibes in this game. The way he carried the ball, the way he marked in defense, the way he positioned himself, the stature of the man gave me lots of Yaya Toure vibes, and because of that, he deserved to be in this midfield. He was one of the main reasons why West Ham were able to play the way they played. Um, for once, we don't have Mo Salah on the right there. We have another West Ham player, Jared Bowen. For a young Englishman there's a lot of hype around young English players, but I feel like this instance the guy actually deserves it. He played really well there, um, good attacking, played crosses in, got 2 assists. Real big part of how West Ham got the result that they got. Next to him, there we have the man of the Derby, the brace hero of the Derby of the Soweto Derby. There, Keegan Dolly. He's really performing to a high level these past few weeks. I think it's his third or fourth time in the team of the week in a row. Um, so you know that means he's doing something right. He's constantly showing the class that had him so highly rated before he left for France. He is a level above the rest of the Chiefs players. Maybe Billiat is close to him, but other than that, there's not really close to him in terms of quality. And he's showing that week in, week out. So yeah, well done, Keegan Dolly. And then the last man in our midfield there is going to have Bernardo Silva. Look, he tormented Man United. Yes, Man United were there to be tormented. The less said about them, the better, like I keep saying. But we keep going back to the hapless performance. But yeah, Bernardo Silva there took advantage of that team, ran the midfield. It seemed like he was the one player actually wanted to score more goals there for City, even though City had decided to just stick to two. He seemed like he wanted to score more. So, so yeah, Bernardo Silva makes it into the team. Up front there, we have the man Iago Aspas from Celta Vigo, whose fantastic performance and 2 goals helps Celta Vigo secure a draw against Barcelona. This was after Barca had been leading, um, and in typical Barca fashion, capitulated. And Aspas was there to take advantage and score 2 goals for his team to secure them the draw. So yes, Iago Aspas, 2 goals. Another striker from La Liga, Hugo Duro, rising star, 21 years old, plays for Valencia, is a product of La Masia, which is the Real Madrid development. When he came on in the 85th minute, his team was trailing 3-1 to Valencia, to Atletico Madrid, pardon me, was losing 3-1 to Valencia when he came on in the 85th minute, and he managed to score 2 goals. 1 goal in the 92nd minute, and 1 goal in the 96th minute to secure a draw for his team against Atletico against all the odds. He came on and he just harried that Atletico Madrid defense, didn't give him a chance to breathe. Misa, in other words. So yeah, he deserves his spot in the team of the week. The last striker there, our own local boy, not really local because it's not South African, but still, the man who plays for Sundowns, the Sundowns prolific striker Peter Shaolile, hat-trick hero. Look, as I said in other videos, Sundowns are in a competition, guys. Hamba Yoto, and Shaolile is a big part of that. To have a striker that you can rely on, who you know is going to score goals. A reliable striker, especially in the PSL, is very good. So yeah, Peter Shaolile makes him team of the week. So yeah, guys, that's the team of the week for this week. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know who you would have in there. Let me know who you would take out. Once again, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. It's really appreciated. Thanks for all the comments. Thank you for all the arguments we're having. Anyway, those of you who unsubscribe, please subscribe. Those of you who don't haven't liked it, please like. Hit me up on the socials. Thanks for watching the Midfield Pivots. Till next time, peace.